Different levels, I cannot relate. You never win if you playing it safe. It's all a game until you get played.
Sauce Walka was in Memphis getting shot while leaving a downtown Memphis hotel with Sayso P, a Memphis native rapper, who ended up getting shot as well, and he ultimately ended up losing his life behind it. Another one, sad tale, where street violence turns into gang violence on the microphone. So let's go to Memphis and hear what they're talking about, because this is another situation that shouldn't happen.
Crime scene tape covered a portion of downtown Memphis Saturday afternoon after a deadly shooting. Memphis police say it was a targeted incident. It happened just before 2:45 in the afternoon in the 100 block of George W. Lee Avenue, just steps away from the FedEx Forum. Several police vehicles blocked off parts of downtown Memphis as investigators tried to piece together what happened.
They discovered 2 people wounded by gunfire. The officers immediately started rendering first aid to the victims. The officers summoned a Memphis Fire Department ambulance. One of the victims has been pronounced deceased here on the scene. The second victim has been transported to Regional 1 Hospital in critical condition.
In a statement in part, MPD said, quote, "We want to assure our community and visitors that downtown Memphis is a safe place. This incident was not a random act of violence. MPD is committed to bringing those responsible to justice."
We know the suspects got out of a vehicle and appeared to target the 2 victims as they were in the street. They got back in the car and fled the scene. They fled the car in the car they fled in was a white vehicle. Detectives from the Real-Time Crime Center have tracked that vehicle as it fled into areas outside of Memphis.
If you have any information on this crime, call Crime Stoppers at 901-528-CASH. Reporting for your news leader in downtown Memphis, Tia McKenzie, WREG News Channel 3.
So, you heard what they said. Just broad daylight. In the middle of the day. They coming out of the hotel, pop, 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 pop. Done. Sauce Walka takes one to the leg. He made a statement, and they posted it on IG. He should make a full recovery. He got shot in the thigh, but Sayso P's gone, and he's from Memphis. And one thing I know about is Memphis hip hop scene. I know a lot about Memphis, and this murder scene can be summed up in 2 things. Allegiances. There's only 2 crews that are really doing this stuff. We know it, and it's not even the people that probably is part of the label. This is just a bunch of affiliates, man. And this is a cautionary tale, aligning yourself with somebody from a whole nother city and then going to that city not knowing that city's beef. You getting one side of the story. You don't know everything when you pull up to somebody's city and you doing work with somebody. You don't never know. Some cities you inherit the beef. This was another calculated and targeted hit. This wasn't no rando act of violence in the middle of the city in Memphis. This was a coordinated attack. So somebody knew that they were getting ready to leave the hotel. They were casing the joint, and then they pulled up on them and let them have it. It's one of 2 things. Either somebody in the camp decided that they were going to have a drop on these guys and got paid to let them know, like text, or somebody was casing the joint from the outside, waiting for them to come down. And if that's the case, that's just wicked. There they go right there. Let's do it. They get shot in the middle of the day. Early in the day, they're all on Instagram, doing all them little videos, having a little dice game, doing all that stuff. These rappers do a lot online. They do a lot of talking on social media. A lot more than the artists of my day, I guess, because we didn't have social media back in the 90s and the early 2000s. We didn't have no social media. So the only way that they did interviews and stuff like that, they had to go actually to a radio station or go to BET, to 106 in Park. That's about the only way that you had to be marketed that way. Now with social media, they can just market themselves and just come online, and next thing you know, they a rapper. Everybody a rapper, I guess. Anybody can be a rapper. All you gotta do is just go in the booth and make a song, right? Then you're a rapper. And then if you get a little buzz, because the internet is like that, you can put your stuff out, and if you do enough content, people gonna start seeing you. I mean, it's an algorithm. That's just how it is. That's how some of you all found me. It's an algorithm. So they can market themselves. So they get a little following, get a nice little following. But now you done aligned yourself with somebody from a city where there's a lot of beef going on. And this has been going on for a while now. And it's two crews. And all the affiliates. And now, you post up, you come into Memphis, you hanging out with your homeboy. He done inherited some beef that you don't know nothing about. And then you come out, pop, and get hit right along with him. Luckily enough for Sauce was that, this wasn't fatal for him. But for Sayso P, this was fatal. He's gone now. And the Memphis police, they very slow to act. They gonna look at this and say, this is some rap beef. As soon as they find out what's going on, that's all they gonna say. They may not even look for these guys. They may, but it might be long gone. I mean, they say they got a white vehicle and the vehicle went out of town. Who knows? This may have been some guys not even local to Memphis. They may have came into Memphis because they knew that Sauce was there. Think about when, what's his name? Julio, whatever his name was, down there in Florida. What did they do? He went to go celebrate his birthday in a whole nother city in Florida. And them boys came down there and handled business and took him out. And they were from Jacksonville. That's what happens. Y'all be putting too much stuff online. These rappers, y'all be putting y'all business online and then y'all beefing online. So that just amps everything. And ain't nobody immortal. There's nobody immortal that's living right now. We live in a sick world. People are ready to die over BS. And I just don't understand it. These guys are too young to be losing their lives. But when you live that life, it's dangerous. That's why they be doing all them drugs. Because they can't cope. All the stress. For nonsense. I was telling some of my friends down in Georgia, I was just down there this past weekend. And I said, some of my childhood friends, I said, it's almost as if it's easier to do bad than it is to do good. It seems like being a good person is just a hard thing to do. Because there's negativity and doing bad shit. It's just all around you all the time. It is so easy just to do the wrong thing because it's just easier. It just seems like doing the right thing it just takes too much effort. Right? Like disassociate yourself with different people. Seems like the hardest thing to do, right? But it's just so easy to have them around and they could be the ones that's getting you caught up in stuff. I don't know how many more of these rappers gonna keep dying before these guys just stop this. But it don't seem like it's slowing down anytime soon. And I just wish that it would. We are losing too many young brothers to nonsense. We can't do no community building. We can't even come together to do stuff. We can't come together as a people, but we want to talk about things that's going on in Washington, D.C. But we never want to talk about what's going on in front of our own front door. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I wish I did, though. I wish I did.